Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Zeke's Miata channel. Today I am testing out my new Cipher steering wheel that I got from Goodwin Racing. But before I do my review, I want to go through the installation instructions for this. It's pretty easy, and I'm just going to snap my fingers and here we go. Today we are going to take out this OEM steering wheel and replace it with one of the ones from Cipher. Just got it in a couple days ago. I can't wait to get this on the car. So the first thing I'm going to do here is completely disconnect the battery from the car. I do not want to get popped in the face by the airbag, so this is a precaution to keep that from happening. And after I disconnect them, I want to let the car sit for a minute or two before I start doing anything, so I can make sure any residual power has had time to drain out of the system. Because we do not want this airbag to go off, and that is not a fun feeling. I've been hit in the face by one of these before. It is not fun, so we don't want to do that. So make sure you've pulled both of the rubber plugs out on the side of the steering wheel. Here's a side shot of the steering wheel so you can see where the plug is, and it's just a little piece of rubber that pulls out really easily. And then inside of here there's two 10mm bolts that you need to take off the horn assembly here. And once you've got the bolts out, this assembly just comes out and you can disconnect the wiring right down here. So on the back of the airbag there's these two connectors, and as you can see on the yellow one, I've popped the center black section of it out. And once you pop those out, you can just pull them right off. Now I got a 21mm socket and a breaker bar, and I'm going to break loose the nut on the steering wheel. Okay, and here's another trick. When you get the nut loose, put it back on here. Turn it on just a little bit. You want it to be somewhat loose because you want to try to pull the steering wheel off. And basically what you're going to do is just kind of rock it back and forth this way. And it should come loose after a little bit. Yeah, see, there it goes. And there's my steering wheels off now. There's a couple of Phillips screws here that I'm going to take out to get the back off of here. As you can see, this just snaps off of here. Be careful with the wires as you're pulling them out though. Okay, then there's some plugs under here that you can pull out. That's going to get these wires loose so that you can get this off. And you got to push down the little thing in here to get them loose. There's that one. There's that one. Okay, you're going to have to pull these wires through here to get them out. There, just like that. You'll have to put these wires back in too. You don't have to worry about which way they go because they're keyed. They'll only go on one side. So the next thing I need to do is take the steering wheel controls off of here and the trim piece, and those are held on the back with screws. There's two screws on these and one screw on this one here. Alright, so our old steering wheel is all stripped down and we have all the parts we need for the new one. And this is the new steering wheel. Next we're going to put back on our controls, and it's basically just two screws on the back that hold these on. Just put them in place and then bolt them on from the back. So now that we got the front side together, we need to flip it over, and we need to start by routing this cable, and it needs to come in from the back so that the plug goes through the center. Now one of these cables has 7 pins on it and the other one has 6. The one with 7 goes on this side, the one with 6 goes on this side. So you can go ahead and connect them in. Like I said, this just needs to route so that this connector here will go up through the center. So let's go ahead and plug them in. Then there's two clips in here. I don't know if you can see that they're open here on the bottom. We could basically got to route that wire through here once I get this in place, like so. So we're going to kind of snap those wires in there, and we're going to put the last couple of screws in here to get this steering wheel ready to go on the car. Alright, so you can see I've got it routed pretty snugly in there. And the only thing that's left here is there's two more screws to go in right here, and then we're ready to put it in the car. Look at that, already. A nice thick steering wheel. That feels so good on my hands. Once you got the steering wheel together, you're ready to put it on the car. You're going to need to slip this airbag wire through the hole in the center. And then hopefully when you took it off, you had this all lined up so you can get it lined up again when you put it on. I'm basically just going to kind of set it on the steering column there, and I'm going to wiggle it down onto there the same way that I took it off. I'm just going to try to get it down there as far as I can. Alright, and then once I got that, then I'm going to put my nut back on and give it a good tightening. So now I got it on there good and tight. Next thing we want to do is put our airbag back on. So this white connector plugs right in here next to the airbag wire. It should just snap in. And this wire here goes to the airbag, as do these, and they are color coded. So go ahead and connect these back up. Alright, and then you got your two 10mm bolts that hold it in on the sides. And once you have the airbag bolted in, you can put your two rubber caps back in on the side, and you're done. You're ready to go for a drive. All you got to do is hook the battery back up, and you're ready to go. I'm really enjoying it so far. I just put this on yesterday, and I've been driving around today with it, and it's just really, really awesome upgrade. I would highly recommend it. The biggest difference you're going to notice from the stock steering wheel is that this has a much thicker grip to it, and the leather seems like it's less slippery than the stock one, so it's easier to hold on to. Has these nice grips at 10 and 2 that make it really comfortable, and if you're rolling through a lot of corners, it feels like there's a lot less effort required to turn, and I think it's part of because you don't have to grip it as hard, and you know, it doesn't slide through your hands as easy. So I'm noticing a lot less stress on my hands during drives. Like I said earlier, I got mine from Goodwin Racing. That costs a little under $400. The only real options you can choose from are the stitching color and whether you get the 12 o'clock marker on it. You can only get the 12 o'clock marker with red stitching and a red marker. I don't know if you can see it in the video here, but the one I got is the one with gray stitching because I thought it matched the interior of my car a little bit better. In hindsight, I probably would have got the red stitching because I think it stands out a little more, but I think the gray still looks pretty good. I think my biggest gripe about it is that it doesn't seem that the center position is exactly center. It's slightly to the left. I took the steering wheel off and turned it to one notch to the right, and then it's way off. So where it is right now, it's pretty close. It's just a hair to the left. So you don't really notice it for the most part, and it's just me kind of being nitpicking. Definitely way better than the stock steering wheel. It looks better, it feels better, it's got a nice grip. I really love the perforated leather on it here, and it's very comfortable, and I certainly would recommend it to anybody. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Have a good one.